particular time period. Recall that in his 2025 budget presentation to the joint session of the National Assembly entitled Budget of Restoration, President Bola Tinubu has plans to spend about 24.8 trillion naira on debt servicing, personnel and pension costs. The amount is an increase of 3.17 trillion, or if you like, 59.16% from the 2024 provision of 5.35 trillion naira. The budget, we must add, prioritizes defense, infrastructure, and human capital development with a projected deficit of 13.39 trillion naira to be financed through borrowing. It needs to be stressed that the budget is not just a collection of numbers, but an expression of our values and aspirations. Because these things, we must explain these things to them.
Yes, in a year in which we increased the minimum wage by more than 100%,
yeah,
people should expect that this personnel costs will rise.
That's it.
The current expenditure will go up because you have to factor the payment of salaries into all this. And there is no way, when you look at what we are talking about, 8.52 trillion,
yeah,
you know, inclusive of government enterprises on personnel and pension costs for federal workers. Every time you increase salaries,
yeah,
what you spend on pension will also inevitably go up. It will go up. So these costs, I'm not surprised about this. The payment of salaries alone will reach 7.54 trillion, which is an increase of 2.75 trillion from the 4.79 trillion paid to federal workers in 2024. It's inevitable. With the new minimum wage, you have to put the new minimum wage in the mix. There's just no way that you take those costs elsewhere. It's just not possible. So government will also spend more on debt servicing than it will spend on paying the salaries or pension of its workers. It's, you see, we have debts to pay, and the cost of servicing our debt has gone up. It's also not helped by the value of our currency because all of these costs are captured in naira.
Okay.
Given the fact that our currency has been devalued, the cost of debt servicing, because those debts are denominated in foreign currency, the cost of debt servicing will inevitably go up. So it's easy to explain what has happened. 7.54 trillion for salaries, 984.91 billion for pension and gratuities, and 16.33 trillion for debt servicing.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. I'm happy this is not too long. Otherwise, I'll have been stuttering on them. If you write 15 trillion in figures, I swear I will not be able to read it.
Okay.
My situation will just be like that of the governor who was struggling. It's just the way it is, except you write it in words for me.
Yeah. Ishmael, so when we talk debt servicing to Nigerians, then they talk about borrowing money. No, we have accumulated this debt over time. Servicing this debt means that government will, in budgeting, look at the whole sum. We'll cut this much to service our debts, and our debtors, they understand the dynamics.
Of course, at least I want to thank my principal who gave me the opportunity to serve in government. That, for me, gave me an idea of what debt servicing is. Because for every budget, in fact, there was one particular year I had to go and ask the commissioner for budget and planning. That why is this figure? This figure is too high. So he was the one. He was the one who now tried to, explain it to me. Well, I think what we should be concentrating on is the economic policies that we have. How are they evolving? And like someone said yesterday, he said, look, that we have made the sacrifice, that all along we've been living a life of deceit and lies with regards to the condition of the country. And that this is the time where we are facing, the reality. And for me, in the last 1 year or so, certain things that most Nigerians think were impossible are already possible. For instance, in the past, we believed that whatever goes up in Nigeria never does not come down. But I can tell you that in the last 1 year plus, the price of diesel has gone up and come down several times. Even the petrol we are talking about now, since the food deregulation, the price has come down. So for me, it's an indication.
Some are even doing Christmas bonanza.
It's an indication that tomorrow will be, will be good.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I need to add is that we must not, for political correctness, try to circumvent some of the policies that are already in place that we are hoping that in another few months from now, we'll begin to see the benefits.
Yeah, but one thing we must take into account is this. The number one citizen and commander-in-chief is a money man, so he cannot deliberately. He says the budget is a budget of restoration. He knows where it's coming from. He knows this figure.
Yeah, my only fear about the budget, although I don't have information with regards to that, but when I attended this tax reform bill town hall, somebody asked if the budget projections were based on the money we're expecting to make from the tax, where those bills were to become, to become law. I think what I would advise very strongly is that government must step up their game with regards to educating our people with regards to because some of our brothers, especially in the north, are taking some of these issues out of context. And in the north, once you attach anything to religion, and you just tell them it's anti-Islam, forget it. It will be very difficult for you to get their buy-in. So I think government must step up their game.
Yes, and revenue is everything. I am happy to report that in terms of revenue, we are doing much better than the last couple of years. Our foreign reserves is growing. It's expected that even by the end of January, we could be on $45 billion in terms of the foreign reserves. From gas sales, from crude oil sales, we are making more money because we've been able to improve output. I see people saying this government has not achieved anything. It's only the blind that will not know that a government that came into office and inherited some claims from airlines and others and cleared those claims. You cannot say they've not achieved anything except something is wrong with you. Now, the same government in terms of revenue is doing much better because they've done their best to get technology much more involved in revenue collection. We've done better than previous years in terms of tax. At the rate we are going, the money coming from tax receipts will be greater than what will come from what comes from crude oil sales. I've said it before on this program that Awolowo developed the Southwest largely from proceeds from cash crops like cocoa and taxation. We must not forget, taxation was a critical element of the success that the old man recorded, money from taxation. So we need to improve revenue, we need to tax the rich much more than we are taxing the poor.
All right, gentlemen, time is tight. We must go. BKO, Christmas is in 5 days. Yes. What's your Christmas message?
Well, my message to Nigerians is to remain strong in their conviction that our country will be greater.
Yeah.
I do not easily give up, and I'm confident that we'll come good as a nation.
Ismail?
Yeah, I want to add to that by saying that as we see the leaders strive to make things work for us, we should also continue to do our own parts and support them with prayers, because the president is like a driver. And when you pray for your driver not to take you to your destination in peace, I wonder where you will also end up.
All right, mine is simple. While the merry bells keep ringing, may every of your wish for self and country come true. Merry Christmas. That will just about do it on the program today and for the week. If you missed any part of this program, not to worry. Later tonight at 11, a repeat broadcast will take airtime. Join us also on Sunday from between 1:30 and 3:30 p.m. We are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I want to thank Babajide Kolade Utitoju for your time.
Thank you, citizen.
Ishmael, many thanks for your intervention.
The pleasure is mine.
So, bye-bye now. Take care.